the current state of today's very different, very modernized dating market, and how you as a guy can succeed in this new landscape, this whole new world of dating and I don't know, whatever you want to call it. We live in new times, in modern times, bro. Adapt or die. So how can you succeed in 2023, 2024, and beyond into the future? I have made 5 observations of guys that I see with my very astute mind making these observations about who are the types of guys that are generally winning in this modernized dating market. By winning, I mean either they're getting, just a shitload of girls, Dan Bilzerian style, harems and whatnot, or for whatever reason, like long-term, they have like a super hot bisexual girlfriend or something like that. Just, observations of things I tend to notice of commonalities of guys that are doing well. So number 1 would be good-looking guys are doing better than ever. I wish this wasn't the case. I have a financial vested interest in this not being true because I sell all types of services to help guys build build a rockstar dating life using online methods. And unfortunately, 20-ish% of people who apply to work with me are just too ugly and they can't get results, they can't get matches, they can't get girls, and it just fucking sucks because I want to help these guys, I want to take them on as clients. And it just, it hurts me as a business, but I can't lie to you guys. So that's number 1. Number 2 is guys that are investing heavily into getting great content for their social media. Number 3 would be guys that are leaving the Western world and finding love overseas, right? So they're leaving America, Canada, UK, and are going to Latin America, Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, etc. Number 4 would be guys that learn a foreign language. So these guys that leave the US and do extremely well in these foreign dating markets, other guys speak a foreign language. And number 5, as much as I hate to say it, guys that make a lot of cash. Rich guys. Rich guys are doing better than ever. Overall, as you can see from these 5 things, at least how 2 or 3 or 4 of them are sounding, the markets are getting a lot more superficial, and that sucks. I remember it was kind of a known thing, an observation, just a general, it was, funnily enough to use the past tense, it was just an inalienable truth about life that people just kind of tended to know that ceased to be a universal truth about life when social media became very popular, when online dating became very popular, which is this universal truth, was that your looks didn't matter so much. Girls would have to experience your personality if they were meeting you anyways. And between your status, your charisma, your personality, your chemistry, your connection, your humor, your intelligence, you could just get a girl based on those things, right? There's a quote from Voltaire, who I don't even know who Voltaire was. He was some French guy during the Renaissance. Was he a poet or something? Or I don't know what. He was famous for some reason. We studied him in school. But he had a famous quote, which was, "You give me 30 minutes to talk away my ugly face, and I will bed the Queen of France." And what a fucking gangster ass fucking quote, right? What a fucking, for him to even realize that in, Renaissance times. I mean, he couldn't have been comparing himself to that many people, right? Because without social media, how many people would you even really know or have seen? There was no movies, think about how many, like everyone he saw, he had to have seen face to face or like a painting of them or something. So he must have been pretty damn ugly for him to even realize, where he stood in that. But that was the thing, like when I was growing up, the only way to really meet somebody, I guess, besides the telephone was they had to be in person, they had to be in front of you face to face, and you had to talk to them. And before a girl could even make up her mind whether you were hot or not, or her type, maybe your personality already did the trick. Maybe it already attracted her, or maybe it already turned her off. But the point was you could use your personality. These days, not so much the case. The guys that I see succeeding these days, I would see, put it this way, 10, 20 years ago, the guy who was not very confident at all, but extremely good looking, kind of fumbled over his words and whatnot, but just wasn't, very confident, but did have the looks, would always lose out to the opposite of that, to the guy that was not good looking, but had a large, charismatic, outgoing, magnetic personality. That guy would win. These days, completely flipped, right? The unattractive guy can't even get a date with girls these days, right? I mean, what are you gonna do? Go to nightclubs and stuff. I'm gonna talk about those a little later in the video, but nightclubs are just not what they used to be. Nightclubs back in the day would be like high class single people using the only possible outlet they had to meet people, which was going out of their house and doing the activity of meeting people. Now the activity of meeting people is on Hinge, Bumble, dating apps, etc. So you just get very, very low quality people that typically goes up to bars and nightclubs. Now, at least that's what I've tended to notice, right? Just people who like drugs and terrible pop music go to clubs these days. Now, like I said, I have a financial vested interest in this not being true, but unfortunately it is. So what can you do about it? Looks. I'm not going to make a huge tutorial on how to fix up your looks in this video, but some key pointers, right, to maximize your looks, because again, this is my main observation of guys who are doing good in today's modern dating market versus how it was 10-20 years ago. I'm seeing a much bigger emphasis placed on looks. So what can you do? Grow a beard, right? A beard will instantly give you this kind of like more masculine looking jawline. Better fashion, whiten your teeth. Get a skincare routine, especially if you're older. If you're like me and you're balding, get a hair transplant. I'm actually gonna get all this shit filled in. Go to the motherfucking gym, okay? I'm gonna put a shirtless photo of me on the screen right now. Hopefully I don't get roasted for this too much. And listen, I don't claim to have a super amazing body, right? But if you can't get at least to that level that you're seeing on the screen right now, or I'll put an older photo where it probably looked even better, you're just not trying. I have some of the absolute worst muscle building genetics known to human history, right? So like there's no excuses, guys, if you can't get to at least that level. Get at least to, where you're not fat, you have somewhat of a V taper, you cultivated some type of look, if short hair fits you better, if long hair fits you better, a certain way of dressing. I fucking hate tattoos, but girls love tattoos. Maybe you want to get a bunch of hideous tattoos all over your body, and girls like them, whatever, make you look more like a bad boy. I've definitely seen guys do it. I've had talks with guys where we acknowledge how stupid tattoos are, yet they get them anyway, and their results with girls goes up, right? Piercings, go for a goth look if you want to date goth chicks, but something to maximize your appearance. The last thing I'll say is, there's some channels out there dedicated to something called Luke's maxing for guys. I've literally seen guys, unless it's like fake, unless they're faking it somehow, change their face through like jaw exercises, thickening their neck. Thickening your neck will make you look a lot more buff and robust, even if your body doesn't change, just working out your neck. And I've seen like guys before and after, just by working out the facial muscles in their face, it's changed, quite a bit. If you have like a pretty good looking face with just this like enormous, like, shark fin nose, maybe get the nose fix, a quick plastic surgery procedure. I already talked about the hairline stuff. But other than that, I don't want to go too far off on this. Let's go into number 2 thing that I talked about, which is guys who are investing heavily into their social media. I talked about this in my last video, but the same way that pulling up in a Rolls Royce or Lamborghini gives you instant value, pulling up with a social media content, messaging a girl or getting a girl's, trading Instagrams with a girl, or in some way getting her to see your social media content where you're doing all this luxurious, fun, high status, interesting, entertaining shit, goes so far. Again, that's like the new Lamborghini, that's the new Rolex, right? It's just she sees this and she instantly gets a picture of who you are, what you're about, what your lifestyle is like. I'll put a quick like scrolling screen share or screen recording of my Instagram on there. I showed it a lot, but what are you gonna see? What's a girl gonna see? Me dressed professionally, looking cool, me giving a speech on stage to 200 people, always in nice luxurious locations, always having fun, doing cool shit with friends. there's no way that a girl could look at that and not be at least somewhat interested for the lifestyle aspect of it. Again, maybe she doesn't think I'm handsome. Maybe she's like, oh, this guy's not, fuckable at all. But, that social media is going to stand out as better than 99% of all the guys in her inbox, right? So how can you go and do this? I have a lot of videos on this. There's a video I'll put in the description, how to get good online dating photos for social media. You can go and watch that. Try to emulate the stuff and the locations you see. I'll also put a link to a shared Google album where I have like 200 photos of just unlimited ideas that you can use till the end of time. Like you'll have unlimited inspiration in terms of outfits to wear, poses, locations, etc. And just get it fucking done. I mean, I can do it for you. You can just pay me. I can, I have a whole program set up. I'll put some client photos. This is Steven. I'm going to put Steven's scrolling thing, I can just get all your content done for you. But whatever you do, whether you do it yourself from watching my videos, whether you learn it from, some other influencer who claims that he, has the best formula, whatever you do, just get it fucking done. Okay, cool. So number 3 on the list of observations that I have made of the guys who are having the sickest dating lives, the most success with women, etc., is guys that have left the Western world, guys that have left America, Canada, Australia, etc. So, I mean, what more needs to be said on this? I don't think that I am the only one to point out the horrendous inequality in dating in the Western world. To say that women have all the power and it's just a completely fucked environment for men would be an understatement. It is, the women in the West, they aren't even feminine. They're claiming that, you see this on my friend's podcast, the Fresh and Fit podcast, and all the copycats, there's like 1,000 copycats that are just copy my friend's show, where these girls that are disgusting, they look like obese cockroaches, just like, girl, if he ain't 6'2", know what I'm saying? If he ain't getting that bag, I'm talking, $500K to $1 million, per year, you know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. His height, his number of followers, he's got to be black as well. So, okay, you're going to find a black millionaire, under 25, super charismatic, super good looking. Do you know what percentage of the population that is? Did I mention height? They want to be 6'2" and above, add that to the criteria. So yeah, we all know that women's standards are impossible in the States. We know that they're born and bred to basically hate men due to feminism. We know that they're incredibly masculine and have higher testosterone levels than a fucking bear in heat, like male grizzly bear in heat. So yeah, the guys that I see with these awesome dating lives, they're in, again, Warsaw, Poland, Thailand, Philippines, Colombia, Brazil, Mexico, etc. Okay, so get the fuck out of the US. Number 4 was guys that learned a foreign language. So if you absolutely can't get out of the US or Canada or whatever Western feminist dominated country you live in to go overseas, then this might not even apply to you. But aside from working on your looks, working on your social media, getting out of the Western world, going to another country and learning the language of that country. Like if you're a good looking 6'1" white guy who goes to Japan with a little bit of money in his pocket, some really good social media content, and you're average looking, and you speak Japanese, brother, brethren. How many ways can I say brother? Yeah, you're gonna kill it. Number 5 is another unfortunate superficial reality. the last observation that I had on my mind of guys who I see succeeding in today's modern dating market and will continue to crush it in 2024 and beyond are guys who are getting bread. In other words, guys who have money, guys who are wealthy, guys who are affluent, guys that have money to spend. Back in my day, it was not only like well documented and like, you know, heard of for guys who were charismatic, charming, and had like an average job, 50, 60K a year job, to lock down a beautiful woman. It was pretty common. Like, it was actually pretty common to hear of that. Keep in mind, you know, I'm from LA, and then I lived in Miami for 2 years. I was, lived in Miami, Brickell for 2 years. So maybe I've seen the worst of the worst women. I've traveled, I've been in New York, you know, a lot. But for a girl that's a 7 out of 10 or better looking in the United States to stay long-term dating a guy that made under, I'm talking minimum 200 to 250 grand a year, yeah, good luck. Good luck. Go to Mary Brickell Village. Like film this. Like I will PayPal you $50 if you can find, you know, a couple of these. Go around Mary Brickell Village or West Hollywood, California, and show me an 8 or a 9 that's dating a guy long term. Maybe they live together, they're committed relationship, who's not wealthy. It just won't happen. I'm sorry, you know, again, it's, you know, as a dating coach, it sucks that I have to say this. I wish I could tell guys that no matter what you look like, no matter how tall you are, no how much money you make, anybody can be successful in this. You can't. You fucking can't. If you look like Brad Pitt in his prime and you're approaching girls in nightclubs, maybe, you know, Vegas, maybe tipsy girls, drunk girls, can you extract an 8 or 9 or a 10 for one night of fun? Absolutely. Will you get her to leave the rich bottle service guy for one night to go home with you instead for some fun? It could happen. It could very well fucking happen, bro. But will that girl stick around for round 2, round 3, round 4? Absolutely not. If she's 19 or 20 in college, sure. College girls, you know, maybe a girl under 23. But no, bro, like I hate to break it to you, you have to get your finances handled. It has become so insanely difficult to have success as a guy in these modern times that, I mean, you see why these channels, you know, my channel's starting to grow, about 1,000 subscribers, woohoo, 1,000 subscriber special, but you know, my buddies, Fresh and Fit, 1.5 million. I mean, they have an entire channel, an entire business built on pointing out the delusion of modern women and the utterly, like, the infuriatingly high standards that these thoughts have. And they've cashed in. They're both multimillionaires from pointing out this, making a whole show about how delusional women are. So let's go through these again one more time really quickly, and then we'll wrap up. So of the observations of who is going to succeed in the ultra difficult, ultra competitive, ultra unfair dating world, dating market, dating universe of 2023 and beyond, 2024, 2025, are guys who are good looking, number 1. Number 2, guys who invest a lot of time, resources, and money into getting amazing social media content, which is the main thing that I teach on this channel, by the way. Number 3, guys who leave the Western world. They leave America, they leave Canada, they leave whatever. Number 4, guys who learn a foreign language and go over to those other places while speaking another language. And number 5, guys who have their finances in order. Speaking of having finances in order, I mean, I talked about my online dating success formula in a previous video, which is get sick content, go to an easier dating market, and run a lot of volume. But the first one and the third one, which is get sick content and volume, which means hire a virtual assistant, hire me, scale this up with somebody helping you get an assistant in some way. That's basically what I mean by volume, because you can't swipe enough or send enough messages enough to do this all yourself if you're a highly paid professional or highly successful launch party. You don't have the time. So that's my online dating success formula. But you can't even do number 1 or 3 if you're not paid. If you don't make good money, how are you going to get content of you in these luxurious restaurants, these luxurious rooftop lounges, these amazing hotels poolside in this amazing pool, or in a helicopter, on a boat, on a yacht, on a jet ski? You can't even afford to do these activities unless you got a little bit of extra income to spend. Second of all, hiring an assistant to help you out swiping and sending opening messages, hiring me to do it, hiring me to do your social media content. You can't afford me unless you're making minimum $180K a year. And I feel bad. I will give out unlimited free tips and free advice. I'll probably put out a free, text game course just to give back to the community. I'm a business owner. I need money. I must run a for-profit business. I charge a lot of money. I'm not going to say how much. If you want to book a call, we can talk. My services are for the wealthy. And like I said, you can't even get good content, do the amount of volume necessary to succeed. You certainly can't pack up and go live in a foreign country unless you got cash flow coming in from online business or investments or something like that. So I'm very sorry that this video may not give a lot of hope for the average person, but those are the 5 areas that we just talked about that you need to focus on. They'll be in the description of this video if you want to read through them again. If you want to work with me and have me custom craft you your rock star dating life, that's my passion. That's what I love to do. That's what I'm already doing. I got testimonials from all the top guys in the industry. Myron Gaines is a client. He's giving me a testimonial. Go to redbeardrans.net. I can get photos of you. I can run your entire dating app for you, outsource it and bring you dates on a silver platter. I can screen for DTF girls that want to go straight over to your place. That's actually what we're doing with Myron. Get at me, guys. Follow me on Instagram too, redbeardrans1. I'm gonna start going live on Instagram and answering questions for free. I'm trying to get the followers up there. If you're not a subscriber, then what are you doing here? Subscribe, bro. I need that YouTube plug. Anyway, that's it. Rant over. Thanks for watching. Peace.